Hello, everybody. I believe that we are live, and yes, we are. Hello, everybody. My name is Harry Rice. I review games for the Montreal Canadiens. Tonight, or well, actually last night. Sorry, we played the San Jose Sharks in the SAP Center. I just realized I put that as SAP Arena. I'm going to fix that after the stream. But we played last night in the SAP Center against the San Jose Sharks and would end up beating. We had to come back down 1-0. Spoiler, but if you're in the description, you'd already know that, or if you watch the game, obviously. So yeah, we will be recapping the game, talking about some moments that happened. We're gonna talk about the game, my thoughts on it overall. Yeah, we're gonna talk about all that good stuff in the Canadiens' second to last game before the trade deadline. We play tomorrow against the LA Kings. So the Kings are gonna be without Jonathan Quick. It might be Korpisalo's first game as a Los Angeles King. I think it might be. So yeah, love that game. Then it's going to be the trade deadline. Of course, if you guys saw the community post, you guys would know that I said that I would be doing this game today instead of last night. And tomorrow's game on the second Um, will be recapped that night because Saturday is the trade deadline. That is the NHL trade deadline. Wait, no, sorry, Friday's the trade deadline. I'm dumb. Friday's the trade deadline. We do play as well on Friday. That is a 10:30 start time, and I just realized because of some scheduling mishap, I just realized I'm more than likely going to have to recap the game Friday night. So that is something that I completely forgot. I do have something probably going on Saturday. So I'm probably gonna have to recap the game on Saturday night. Yeah, or Friday night. Sorry, not Saturday night. Friday night, more than likely. So I just wanted to give that quick update. That is something that is more than likely gonna have to be the case. But Friday, I do currently plan to go live at some point before the game. More than likely, probably. I'm either going to try and go live around 8, 9, 10 p.m. maybe to stream for a majority of the trade deadline, see what trades are coming through. I do have a Twitter account set up just to follow insiders and team accounts, just to see like what trades are going down and stuff like that. I thought it was a good idea. Um, and yeah, so I have that set up, so I am ready. I do have the OBS, what would be the OBS virtual camera, but I do also have the potential of using OBS Studio. I'm probably going to run just a test stream for myself later today, just to test to see how good OBS is. Okay, but yeah, I will. We'll see how that goes. But enough rambling about the trade deadline. We're not there yet. Montreal Canadiens. The opening lines for the Canadiens were Hoffman, Suzuki, Gurianov, Harvey Pinard, Juran Anderson, Pitlick, Dvorak, Ylonen, and Pezzetta, Tierney, Belzil was your forward core. Matheson, Barron, Guhle, Savard, and Harris Kovacevic. So Kaiden Guhle is back in the lineup, missing, I think they said 28 games due to injury. He'd have a really damn good first game. He would pick up immediately where he left off. At least I think he did. Hey, Habs Guru, how's it going? Thank you for coming by, my good sir. Appreciate it a lot. Jake Allen would get the start in net, and Sam Montembeault backs him up. I would expect him to get one of the next two games because it's a back-to-back, and yeah, it's a back-to-back. It makes sense to play both your goalies on separate nights. The opening lines for the Sharks were Essamont, Couture, Barabanov, Zetherland, Hurdle, Johnson, Andreas Johansson, sorry, or Jansson, as they said actually during the broadcast. It's Jansson. Doesn't really matter. He wasn't too noticeable. Benino, Strom, Nico Sturm, I'm sorry, and Sveshnikov, Lindbaum, Lawrence, and Gregor were your forward core for San Jose, or the defense pairings. Capo Kakinen gets the start for the Sharks. James Reimer backs him up with an abysmal season so far. Might be his last. Probably not, though. Before the game, Montreal did trade out Evgeny Dadonov to Dallas for Dennis Gurianov. My thoughts on that can be found on a video on the channel. The most recent video, not live stream, but the most recent video. Basic thoughts, just to simply recap. Good trade for both teams. I think Dadonov and Gurianov both need to change the scenery, and I think they'll both do good where they are. So yeah. And also, sorry. without straight up saying that, or it's just all right. We'll put you in for say the LA game and then trade you tomorrow, or yeah. But either way, I do think Joel Edmondson's time as a Montreal Canadien is coming to a close. As we approach the trade deadline, Kaiden Guhle, as I mentioned a minute ago, is back into the lineup. It's his first game in 28 games. Hoping he has a decent game. And spoiler, he would. Habs get a first shot. Gurianov and Suzuki had a decent first shift. Gurianov was very impressive. There were 3 or 4 shots that honestly could have and probably should have gone in. He was very, very good tonight. Very noticeable on that top line. I'm hoping he gets more shifts with Suzuki. Maybe off that top line, put Harvey Pinard on there. Hoffman had an okay game. I thought he had an okay game. They were clearly showcasing him for a trade, I think. But yeah, I think if you can have your first line being Harvey Pinard, Suzuki, Gurianov, that would be pretty damn solid. I like Gurianov. Good first game as a Canadian. Hopefully he continues. Hopefully he continues that pace. Yeah, then the Sharks scored, actually. It's their first shot on net. Allen isn't able to find the puck. It's a bad shift for the line that's out there. They need to be able to cover Jacob MacDonald like that on the blue line. But it's a 1-0 Sharks lead. Habs then go to the power play very quickly. It's Evgeny Sveshnikov getting called for hooking. Habs first unit working pretty well. But why was Pitlick on the first power play unit? I genuinely had no clue why Rem Pitlick was there, other than maybe trying to get him a point or two. I think Armia, they said, was day-to-day. I think. Don't quote me on that. Look that up yourself. But I think Armia is close to returning. I would trade Rem Pitlick. He's not been the same Pitlick as he was last year. He still has speed. He's getting a couple chances, but overall, he's just been kind of invisible out there on the ice, in my opinion. With a lot of guys, that's good because it's like, okay, they're playing more defensively. You're not really going to notice them too much, but that's a good thing. With Pitlick, it's just, oh yeah, no, he's absolutely invisible. He's not doing anything at all. Gurianov had a really, really good couple of blasts on the second unit. He was really solid. Habs aren't able to score, but we do look good. We are 0 for 1 on the power play tonight. Habs then push. Shots were 7-2. I think we got 4 of those on the power play. Hoffman made some good plays before the Sharks. Nearly got set up. Weird couple bounces. They were looking to make it 2-0 off some bounces. They knew Allen was not the best with those. But the Habs go back to the power play. Oscar Lindblom, a former Philadelphia Flyer, called for tripping. Habs get a couple more chances. Anderson was having a pretty damn good game, actually, at this point. He had, I think the commentators mentioned 4 straight shifts to start the game where he was really solid. Overall, I thought he had a good game, actually. And if this is, say, his last or second to last game as a Montreal Canadien, it'll be a bit awkward for the new era player caps that are on sale right now. If he's gone, like, hey, we got this Anderson Habs hat. It's like, oh, he's no longer a Hab. Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I like Anderson's game tonight. He's just got to work on that inconsistency about him, and I think he's overall good second line guy. A lot of teams would like to have him, but if you want Anderson, I think you're gonna have to overpay. Canadiens management, I don't think really wants to trade Josh Anderson. Yeah, pretty good, pretty decent game so far for Anderson. Nice looks overall for Montreal too. Shots were 11-3 Canadiens as well. We played great early in the first period, despite being down 1-0. We were 0 for 2 on the power play though. Sharks then weird bounce nearly gets past Allen, but he's able to make the save. Sharks then go to the power play. Harris is called for slashing. Sharks with good pressure. Bonino with a big shot. I want to say it went off Allen's mask and out. Good stop there. Allen made some more stops. Sharks nearly got the 2-0 lead. We are 1 for 1 on the PK tonight, are the Canadiens. Sharks with some more push. Habs could not get much. Druin actually has a nice play to kill off a bit of time, just kind of sending a puck down the ice, but not enough for icing. Matheson had a really nice back check. I want to say it was in the first period. He had a really nice back check to catch a Shark. Matheson had a very solid, I think, almost underrated game. He played very well defensively. I don't think he extended his point streak, unfortunately, so it does end at 4 games, I think. But the defensive side of things, he held up very, very well. And he played a great game, I thought. Sharks with more control. There's several good chances. Carlson tried to blast one home, but it's saved by Jake Allen. Habs back the other way. Suzuki with a nice squeaker shot, almost beats Kakinen if that was guided. If that could have been a shot at a bit more of an angle, might have gone in, might have gone off the post, but it just trickles wide. Almost beat Kakinen. Pitlick then nearly put one home. Hurdle with a really good shot block on that one. Sharks late got a couple chances. They look to extend the lead. Allen was making saves. And good plays by Savard to try and clear the puck out. Good defensive plays by him. I thought Savard had a solid game as well. Last year, I criticized David Savard a lot. And even this year, I think of points I have. He has definitely stepped up his game since Marty St. Louis has taken over as head coach. Marty St. Louis has definitely gotten something out of David Savard that I think only really was there last when he played in Columbus. I really like David Savard's defensive game. He can deke as well. Like once every 30 games, he'll pull out some fucking sick deke, and it'll be like, okay, yeah, Savard has potential to score 20, and then the next 20 games he'll be like, you know what? Yeah, no, I don't want to deke. I want to play defensively. I'm gonna let my teammates score. I'm gonna let those guys score. I'm gonna handle the defensive side of things. Props to Savard on that, because genuinely he has that skill. He has the skill for really great dekes that you don't expect out of a guy like him, that you would expect out of Paul Byron, or as I call him, a little David Savard. Yeah. So the shots after the first were 16-14 for the Canadiens. Sharks do have the 1-0 lead after the first 20 minutes, though. Sharks pushed. They tied the shots up in the opening minute, aka shots were 2-0 Sharks in the opening minute. They got a couple chances. Suzuki then with a nice rush chance. Gurianov's nearly found, but there's nothing there. Andreas Jansson with a few chances. He's been notable for the Sharks so far in the game. So is Noah Gregoire. I thought Gregoire had a really good game tonight as well. Both teams going back and forth. Habs look to tie the game up. Svechnikov then slashes at Allen. Savard and Anderson both get in there. I actually like the penalties here. Anderson's called for roughing. Svechnikov is called for slashing. Don't slash the goalie, won't get called for it. And Anderson, I thought he should have just let Savard handle things. I like that he got emotional there, and I like that he's clearly wanted to step up for the team and help his goaltender. But instead of a Habs power play, it is 4-on-4. Gurianov gets a nice chance with Suzuki. Gurianov then has wheels, a very nice kind of near break. Good wrister. Kakinen does make the save, though. Some more back and forth in the 4-on-4. Both teams. Habs had some decent back checking despite what the shots were. They were playing well defensively. I thought they were doing good, letting Allen see a majority of the shots. Not a ton of 2-on-1s given away. I want to say there was maybe one or two potential for high scoring type of, Habs pushed good. There's a 2-on-1 for the Canadiens, actually. Good stop there. This is where the Canadiens kind of start to not take over the game, but this is where they kind of more or less start to really sort of tire out the San Jose Sharks. This is really where they start to look at what they're and really, really take it. Hey, Kat, how's it going? Thank you for coming by. Appreciate it. Gurianov gets cross-checked from behind. There's no penalty. Barron with a big hit moments later. There's then a 2-on-1 for Harvey Pinard and Suzuki. Harvey Pinard is hooked, and there's no penalty. Ylonen and Dvorak then get on a 2-on-1. Dvorak takes the shot. That's gloved down by Kakinen. Game was wide open at this point, despite being only 1-0. Both goalies were playing great. Noah Gregoire then gets 3 great chances in front of the net in a row. He was really impressive. I liked his play tonight. I thought he had a very solid game for the Sharks. Gregoire, 3 great wristers. Allen stops them all. I actually stopped 2, and I think 1 went over the nets, I think. Canadiens then pushed. They get a power play. Isomont's called for slashing. Habs get some good chances. Gurianov again in front of the net, playing very well. Suzuki tried to set someone up, but not able to. We are 0 for 3 on the power play tonight. That would be our last power play of the game, I believe. Gurianov then just hits the outside. Oh, sorry. Okay, wait, what? Okay, never mind. I started to take my notes, and I remembered what I said. And weird, this is weird. Okay, this is where it happens. Gurianov, I did say he had a good chance. Just hit the outside of the net. Really good shot there. Great chance to tie it up, but just isn't able to. Canadiens look, but not much overall. We are 0 for 3 on the power play. Guhle then, without a stick, just a puck is sent to him, and he just calmly just kicks it to Savard. Smart play. Genuinely, it impresses me how calm and collected Kaiden Guhle is for a rookie, because Genuinely, most people would just kick it off to the side, or just kick it in the back, or kick it in front. Not many people would think, "Oh, look, all right, teammate, all right, boom, kick it." Like, not many people would stay that calm and that poised to find that type of play. Props to Kaiden Guhle for that. I think Kaiden Guhle is going to be an absolute gem. He is. I still think Kaiden Guhle is. A lot of people see him as a very, very good top four defenseman. I see him being a easy top pair defenseman in the future. I think he's going to be a very, very good top pair defenseman. I really like Kaiden Guhle in his two-way game. Sharks get a couple chances, but the Habs start to get better back checking again. The game was wide open for a bit, but the Habs, like I said, back checking now. Habs get a couple looks. They're trying to tie it up. Gurianov gets another good look. Gurianov had a lot of good chances, and I wouldn't be surprised if Marty St. Louis keeps him on the top line next game. I would not be surprised to see tomorrow night, oh, Gurianov's on the top line again. It genuinely, I think he should be. He didn't get a goal. He didn't get. I thought he got an assist. I think it was on the first goal, but he did not, unfortunately. I thought he played well, but yeah, I unfortunately didn't get a point. But I did think that he played very well tonight. I did like Dennis Gurianov for last night, I should say. Hey, NCA, from losing streak to winning streak in San Jose. Yes, it is NCA. Hell yeah, let's go. I've got some smart water. I don't know if it makes you smart. I'm assuming not, because it hasn't changed me at all. But yeah, I do have something to hydrate myself with. I might take a sip. It depends on how bad my throat's feeling. But thank you for coming by, Enzi. I appreciate it a lot. Habs tried to clear. Sharks, good back check of their own, and they're able to hit the Canadiens. Able to keep the Canadiens off the puck for a bit. Anderson with them with a nice big hit on San Jose Shark. There's a scrum in front of Allen. Plenty sticks poking away at a puck. Allen stands tall. Sharks push very, very well in the final minute. They can't go up 2-0 though. Shots are 29-26 Sharks. They keep the 1-0 lead through two periods. Both goalies putting on a hell of a show. Great game so far. We'll see how the final 20 minutes stack up. That water is more IQ than Leafs and Oilers fans. Yes, it does, NZA. Absolutely. Hell yeah. Kat, I still can't believe Cale Makar's had 2 concussions this year already. Imagine if he got another one. Well, Kat, depending on the player, obviously. Sometimes one concussion is enough to take you out of the game completely. Sometimes it's fucking Crosby who feels like he's had like 11 or 12, and he's still like, yeah, no, I feel fine. I want to play. Like, at this point, I want to say Crosby, no matter how many concussions you give him, he's just going to fucking get up and play next game. Because, like, yeah, no, I've suffered 10 of these. I'm good. Like, fuck off. You think you cuss me? Fuck off. You know, like, so yeah, there's a chance that McCarthy has, like, there's always the chance that next one is the one that takes you out for good. Obviously, I don't want to see that for McCarthy because he is genuinely one of the best, He is genuinely one of the best defensemen in the National Hockey League. I will argue top 3 easy, if not the best defenseman in the NHL right now. It sucks that he's had these concussions, but yeah, exactly. NBA Crosby just doesn't care. He just doesn't care. He's like, you know what? Hey, I just want to play hockey. I want to make my money. I don't care about concussions. Like, concuss me all you want. I'll play next game and I'll probably fucking score like 8 points on you because you know what? Hey, screw your team. And he'll drink smart water without opening the cap because, yeah, that's what he does. Sharks push early in the third. Gurianov with another good shot. He's been great at this point. He's been very, very solid throughout the game. Canadiens push. They try to tie the game. Kakinen has been fantastic in this game. I thought if the Canadiens lost, Kakinen would be the reason. Like, the Sharks at certain points looked awful. At certain points they did look very good with the shots that they were getting. But they did not look great when the Canadiens were in control. Kakinen was the only Shark that really, really came out to play for sure. Duran with great back check, breaking up a near breakaway for the Sharks. Really solid one there. I will give Duran the big credit that he deserves on that. Canadiens with a bit of push. There's an icing called. We go to commercial. Matheson did that earlier. He stopped the goal with his stick. Savard did it right on the goal line. Both guys there, brilliant for that. Hell yeah. There's some back and forth. Both teams with really good opportunities. Habs tried to get something. At same time, I'm going to blow my nose, but I don't have toilet paper, and that sucks. Or tissue. That sucks. So, but the Canadiens score. All of a sudden, just like that, Kaiden Guhle in his first game back from injury his first goal since late December. Last I checked, it was unassisted, but Suzuki and Hoffman with a nice play there. Hoffman sent it to Suzuki. The puck kind of bobbled down the blue line. Guhle just blasts it, and he scores a 1-1 tie game. Holy hell. Great shot there. I want to say that was Guhle's first shot as well back. I like Gurianov had a great 2020 playoffs. He played great for the Stars in those playoffs. Yeah, he's had a 2-goal season before. I think he was just getting very utilized in a completely wrong way by the Stars. Hopefully we can get him on track. It'd be great to see us re-sign him, for example, on a 1 or 2 year deal. It'd be great to see that happen, and I don't know. It'd be nice to see him get a 20-goal season next year. I don't think that's out of the realm. If he plays the way that he played tonight, it's not out of the realm of possibility that if he re-signs with Montreal, he has a 20-goal year next year. I really like Gurianov. Thank fucking God Dadonov is gone. Yeah, I thought Dadonov got a bit better as the season went along. He still wasn't great by any means, but I thought he was getting better. But yeah, I thought he was getting better. But yeah, no, if we got someone who was a former first-round pick, he's gone. Or he's gone. We just traded Gurianov. No, but we get someone who's younger, big body, nice speed for his size too, like Gurianov. I've seen some people on Twitter actually saying that this might mean Anderson's expendable because Gurianov, they both had good games with like Gurianov and Anderson, but Gurianov could kind of be that big body replacement for Anderson. And I see what they're going for. I don't think he's meant to be a direct replacement. I think if you can get the same amount of goal production, if not more, out of Gurianov than you get with Josh Anderson, for example, obviously he's not going to score 17 goals in the remaining 20 games. That'd be awesome, but unfortunately it's not going to happen. But if you can get it over a full season the same amount of goals from Gurianov as you would from Anderson, then yeah, I think he can definitely be a good replacement for him in that aspect. And it would potentially make Anderson expendable, especially if you can get Gurianov on a cheap $2 million, $3 million contract for, say, I don't know, 3 years, for example. Let's say a 3x3. I don't know if Gurianov would want a long-term deal, a short-term deal to prove himself. I don't know what he'd want, but yeah, something like that. I still see us potentially trading Anderson. Like I said, I do think it has to be an overpay for us to trade Josh Anderson, but yeah, I think Gurianov, we don't really have to compare him to anybody on the team specifically. He just had a great game, but yeah, I do find those comparisons interesting that we might trade Anderson because of that. I do find that really interesting. How about them Sens though? I mean, James Toop, if you want to consider being 4 points out with no games in hand, a playoff team, then you know what? Hey, I guess the Canadiens are a playoff team too. Then, hey, Gasline, how's it going? Or Giselin, or Giselin. I'll get it again eventually. I forgot. I will get it eventually, but I'm doing good, and I hope you are too. I was never a fan of him. I was not happy at all when he came to Montreal. Well, then, you got to keep in mind, it was for Shea Weber's contract. So, in other words, it was literally for nothing. We literally nothing for Evgeny Dadonov. Now, yes, he did get better in the last few games, but I don't care. I was really happy to see him as well, especially for what we got. Apparently, like I mentioned in the video, Pierre LeBrun, I believe it was, who was tweeted out. I don't think it was Freeman. I think it was. I want to say it was Giselin. All right, Giselin. Thank you, Gasline, as I said, but Giselin. Thank you, Giselin. All right, let's go, Giselin. I got it. Let's go. But yeah, and I was especially because apparently, like I said, with Pierre LeBrun, he tweeted out that the Canadiens wanted a third-round pick. They wanted a third-round pick for Evgeny Dadonov, so we settled on a former first-rounder. We settled on a former first-round pick instead of a third. So, yeah, leave it to Montreal to say, hey, we want a third, and then basically take a first for the guy. Leave it to Montreal. To get an overpayment for a dude who's done nothing this year. I get Dallas's mindset. That, hey, Dadonov has proven, hasn't done much in the playoffs, but he was clutch down the stretch for Vegas last year. Maybe he'll do that for us this year. And he has a goal in it, and I think a game. I think Dallas plays again tonight. But yeah, I get their thinking there, but just weird they'd give up on Gurianov like that. Weird they give him Dadonov. They've already traded him. No, the way he scored his first goal in Dallas. Yeah, I don't think that proves anything that he hated being in Montreal. I think he wanted to play well in Montreal, but he just found himself not liking it that much. Like, I don't think he hated being in Montreal. That's like saying, oh, clearly Mikhail Sergachev hated being in Montreal because he scored in his first game as a Lightning. I don't know if he actually did or anything, but like, no, that doesn't prove anything. That's just okay. He's playing well okay, that's cool. He's playing well. That just proves he's playing well in Tampa, for example. Like, okay, cool. Columbus and Vegas are talking quick. Really, Sporty. Really. Columbus and Vegas are talking quick. That's interesting, boys. I apologize, by the way, for the noises you guys are hearing. I might be getting sick. Sends are the hostage. James. Good joke, man. Good joke. I will drink to that. That is a very good joke. Very good joke there, man. Good joke. Second time was perfect though. Thank you, Ghislain. There we go. Vegas won't get quick. I don't know, Kat. He's on the last year of a deal. If Columbus say retains 50%, I think he's making. I want to say it's something like $5.5 million. Let me look that out. Let me look that up real quick. Actually, Jonathan Quick, cap friendly. Yeah, 5.8. I thought it was 5.5. Yeah, he's making 5.8. You're retaining 50%. That's roughly like $3 million, somewhere around there. Maybe 2.6, $3 million, somewhere around there. You send back a contract. Like, let me look at Vegas real quick. Teams. Would it be team / Golden Knights? Yes, it is. For example, say they give back. Who would they realistically want to give up? Not Zach Whitecloud because they signed him for a pretty good extension. I don't know, say Alec Martinez, because I know they've wanted to get rid of him, apparently. Maybe an Alec Martinez, for example. Yeah, because you got Shea Theodore, Braden McNabb, who are both playing minutes there. And Columbus probably does want to upgrade their defense and get someone who can at least play a year in Columbus and not want to fucking leave immediately. Jonathan Quick. Good on you, Jonathan Quick. But yeah, probably like Alec Martinez, for example. I think that worked out at that point. I think that could work. Yeah. But yeah, no, I wouldn't say Vegas won't get quick. There is a chance of that, but I'd say it's depending on what happens with retention and who has to go back or whatever, then it might happen. McDavid's gonna want to get traded out. Yeah, I'm sure he is, James. Yeah, McDavid, I'm sure would rather fucking die than go to Ottawa. So man, I am pissed. I went to the bank to pay my deceased father's credit card interest. I don't think that's $2.11. I think that might be $2,000. I'm gonna say $2,000 just to be safe. The bank refuses to take cash. Really? Ghislain, that's weird. The bank refuses to take cash. I have not heard of that, of them refusing to take cash for anything like that. That is really weird. I'm sorry to hear that, man. I'm sorry to hear that they didn't take cash and for the credit card interest. That sucks. Thompson will come back soon and start pretty much every game again, starting the playoffs, and go with Leonard and Thompson next season. Well, Kat, I mean, I feel like even if Thompson comes back, for example, you would want a guy like Jonathan Quick because you don't want him tuckered out for the playoffs. You'd probably want to start about 50-50. $2. They wouldn't take $2.11 of cash, or basically $2.10, basically, because pennies don't exist in Canada anymore. They wouldn't take $2.11. They wouldn't take. I was about to pull my bank out, but then I realized I put all my money in my piggy bank, and that would probably not be nice for you guys. But $2.11. They wouldn't take that. They wouldn't take that. Fucking banks are weird. That's why I deal with PayPal. Because you don't see the money, you don't get to feel the money, but you know you got the money. That's why I deal with PayPal. Jeez, that's stupid. God. But yeah, Kat, like I said, like Quick, like you'd want someone like Quick who can fill in for Leonard this year, except without the bipolar. But someone but someone who can fill in for Leonard this year and play that 1A 1B type with Logan Thompson for at least this season, because Leonard I don't think can even come back in the playoffs. I think they said he is only going to come back next year. So yeah, like you'd want a guy like Quick, like I said, to play down the stretch with Thompson, split the starts, maybe get a couple more just to rest Thompson for the playoffs. So yeah, I can definitely see why that would be the case. Why they'd want out of the quick. I can absolutely see that. I wonder how many times he's fucked Kim. Connor said he would love to play for Ottawa before he got drafted. I'm sure he did, James. Just like how Brady Tkachuk said he would love to sign in Montreal before his draft. I'm sure he did. I don't think they will trade Martinez because he's kind of the first. Yeah, that would make sense. But then again, it is Vegas, and they are known for making very stupid trades. So we'll see. we will see. Actually, no way. If you guys have Stone and LTIR, I'm 99% sure you actually guys would have the cap space to take on quick 50% retain, like 2.8 million. I want to say you guys would have the cap space actually. So yeah, freaking Canadian bank. Yeah, just lying. Yeah, Canadian banks are. Whew, Jesus. Yeah, that's weird, man. Yeah. So he would love to play in a mid-poverty team. Exactly, Lindsay. He'd love to play in a poverty franchise who has won 0 cups in their franchise history, and the only Stanley Cup final they went to, they lost because of a literal own goal. The Sens hate playing in Ottawa so much they'll cost themselves the Stanley Cup. You gotta love it. Ottawa's going to win the cup probably 5. Yeah, no, James. James. All right, listen. You realize that to win a Stanley Cup, you need a goaltender, a bottom 6, and an actual defense, right? Like, here's the funny thing. If the Senators even get into the playoffs, they're fucked. They're getting destroyed by the Boston Bruins in 4 games. At the very most, 5 games. They'll be lucky. But, like, here's the thing. The Senators are not at all close to getting into the playoffs. Why? Because they are 5 points back. They are 5 points back of the Pittsburgh Penguins, who currently have the second wildcard spot. Okay, sure. They're 2 points back of Florida and Buffalo. They have 2 games in hand on Florida. Okay, they could probably overtake them. Buffalo has a game in hand on Ottawa. Yes, sure, they lost their most recent, but you guys have no games in hand on Pittsburgh. I think tonight you might have 1 game in hand, but still, you guys have 0 games in hand on the Pittsburgh Penguins. You're 5 points back of them. So I don't know. I just feel like, meh. There are more chances of HGH unblocking her than that. Exactly, Anzia. There's more chances of that fat fucking slob of shit unblocking me on Twitter than fucking the Senators beating the Boston Bruins. Sogard's going to be number 1. No, he's not, James. Sogard is going to be a top 10 goalie in the NHL. But when you got guys like Devin Levi and the dude in Calgary, and Spencer Knight in the league, when you got guys like this in the league, there's no way Matt Sogard is ever going to be a number 1 goalie in the NHL. If there is, then the best save percentage in goals against average must be a fucking 903 and a fucking 4.21 goals against average. I don't care if they make the playoffs. It wasn't expected. They'll easily next year. James, keep in mind, when the Senators have expectations, they always disappoint. The Senators were expected to cup in 2007, and they lost in 5. They got dominated by the Anaheim Ducks. All right? They were expected by a lot of people to make the playoffs this year, and they've fallen out. They fell out as soon as their first puck drop happened. All right? Notice that. They were expected to get to the Cup Finals in 2017 against the Penguins, and what happened? Oh, they just got their shit pushed in Game 7 double overtime. Every time you put expectations on the Senators, they completely fall apart and discombobulate themselves. They easily take that out. Hey, let's go, Nzea. You finally left the server. Hell yeah, let's go, man. Last time I spoke, there was September 2020. God damn it, Nzea. Let's go. Ottawa's 1-0 in playoff history against Boston. Oh, wow, James. And when was that? Ottawa Senators, Boston Bruins playoff series. When was that? 2017. Okay, I was about to say it's not going to tell me the year, but no, yeah, it does. Wow, 2017 when the Sabres, obviously, when the Bruins were not as good as they are this year. Wow, who would have thought? 2017, and what happened at the end of that playoff run? Ottawa wasn't the favorite to beat the Penguins in that series. No, they kind of were, James. I remember watching that series, and everybody that I was talking to saying, yeah, no, Senators got that. Senators easily should win that series. Senators have got it easily. And then what happened? Like I said, Pittsburgh pushes their shit in because the Penguins know how to win. Chris Kunins owns your bitch ass franchise. If I remember correctly, has he not won 2 cups because of the Senators? Was he not on the Anaheim Ducks team that won in 2007? Was he not on that Senator? Yes, he was. He played 13 games and had 6 points. He was absolutely on that Senators, that Ducks team that beat the Ottawa Senators. Funny how that goes. Chris Kunins, by the way, big shout out, 3-time Stanley Cup champion. Big shout out, baby. No, they weren't all the betting fair. Oh wow, the betting favorites. James, betting means jack shit. All right. The betting odds mean jack shit. All they are doing is simply looking at who has the better record this season and who potentially has the better players. They're not at all taking into consideration the intangibles and defense and stuff like that. They're not taking into that. All they do is take the goals and who has the better record and calculate it based off that. There's nothing scientific about betting odds. Whoever plays the Sens next in the playoffs will probably sign probably Cat. Like, hey, 43-year-old Chris Kunins, you want to come out of retirement? We'll pay you like, I don't know, league minimum. Just play like 1 game for us. Play like game 5, or actually no, probably play game 4 of the first round when we're up 3-0 in the Senators. Let's just guarantee that we're gonna beat them. You know, maybe you'll get a goal. Do you remember when the Buffalo Sabres? Dude, I do remember. Well, I don't remember that. I don't remember when the Sabres won the President's Trophy, but I do know when that happened. I do remember that. That was a weird time. Like Danny Briere, Chris Drury, Jason Palmville, they were great players, but just so weird that they did not have a great team, but not like a clear-cut superstar. Ryan Miller was great, but he wasn't like a superstar at that point. He was still like, oh yeah, no, he's a really good starter. He's really good. Like nobody wanted to overrate him back at that point. Like everybody was just like, yeah, no, he's a pretty good starter. Could be really good, and then he was 5, 6, 7 years. Habs fans get so mad about Ottawa because they always dominate. You know, James, we just always lose. Weirdly enough, we always get shit on by the worst teams in the National Hockey League. The 18-19, I think it was the 18-19 Red Wings swept the season series. The 2022-23 Ottawa Senators swept the season series. We always decide to lose to the shittiest teams in the National Hockey League that we should easily beat. But it's just like, you know what? Hey, they're really bad. They're going through a rebuild themselves. They've been in a 20-year rebuild. They've never done anything with their franchise. You know what? At least give them something. Give them something. We'll give them some wins. We'll give them some free wins. It helps our odds of getting Connor Bedard. They'll probably draft another Tyler Boucher, who's a projected 3rd-round pick. They'll probably pick someone like that, 10th overall. Give them a couple wins. They need a rebuild. Their fans are tired of killing themselves. Let's give them something to be happy about for once. Also, James, what happened to Andrew Hammond 2015? Who did he run into? Habs on a rebuild. Exactly, NZ. We're in a goddamn rebuild right now. Flames will sign Kunitz and will score on 5 OT. 5 OTs against the Senators. NZA, bold of you to assume that the Senators can make the Stanley Cup Finals. Very bold of you. Bold of you to assume the Flames can make the playoffs at this point. It's just like every team in the NHL is a black beast, i.e. a team that gives them trouble for no reason. Yeah, to the Habs, it's kind of the Sens and the Canes exactly. Like the Red Wings, it's kind of been equal recently. Like I said, that 18-19 team, it was just like, Jesus, worst team in the league, and they're really going to sweep us, whatever. Something like that. But yeah, for some reason, it's been the Sens and the Canes. Only beat the Canadiens and nobody else for the Senators. And then for the Hartford Whalers, it's just been hey, you know what? They wanted to sign a good player that we had because we're a poverty franchise and we don't have much money, so we'd have to offer him $2 million. You know what? Let's fucking beat them a lot. And then it's okay, Canes, when you're in the 3rd round of the playoffs, when we're in the 3rd round of the playoffs and you're not, it's pretty funny. Just a reminder, the Canadiens have made the Stanley Cup Finals, have gone into a rebuild, made the Stanley Cup Finals, and gone into another rebuild in the time that it's taken Carolina to get through one rebuild. And even then, they're not through it. That's funny. Or mostly the Black Beast of Toronto, Boston. Exactly, just like Boston, not so much recently because they've beaten us a lot more than we've beaten them. But Toronto definitely. And I think if we were somehow able to make the playoffs this year, we definitely would be their Black Beast. We definitely would be able to upset them in the first round. Probably 7 games because Boston really likes losing to Montreal in 7 games. Apparently, look at the series that we faced them in. Majority of them recently, from what I can remember, have ended in 7 games. Weirdly enough. But yeah, all right. So yeah, Kaiden Guhle scores. Then we score again. 2 goals in about a minute. Jesse Ylonen puts it home from Rem Pitlick. Christian Dvorak with the second assist on that. Great pass by Dvorak to send Ylonen off on a 2-on-1. In the 70s, 80s, 90s, we got Boston numbers. Oh, yeah, absolutely, just like absolutely we did. To be fair, the 70s, Dynasty era, the 80s, a little bit of a rough patch. The 90s, just we had another Stanley Cup there, and we were pretty decent for the most part because we had some kid named Patrick Waugh in net. So yeah, it makes sense why in those years we would definitely beat the Boston Bruins a lot. Also, I want to point out, I'm pretty sure every decade since the 60s has had at least one Boston Bruins and Montreal Canadiens series. So 2020, get on it, because 2010s we had obviously, I think 2011, I want to say we faced in 2013. No, because we lost the Senators that year. 2014 maybe? I think 2011, 2014. Did we not go through the Bruins in 2014? Montreal Canadiens 2014 playoffs. Maybe 2015? Maybe 2015? Yeah, second round 2014. We beat the Bruins in game 7. We beat them in 7. Wow, and we beat them in game 1 double freaking overtime because of PK Subban. What a goddamn legend. What a legend. Boston has to wait 2010 before getting their revenge on us. That would make sense. Sounds like there's serious discussion between Columbus and Vegas born about goaltender Jonathan Quick. Wow, NZA. That update thank you for the actual tweet that was put out. Wow, that is holy shit. That is weird. That is really weird. Columbus just acquired him, and now they're getting rid of him. Dude, what if it was just like hearing their serious discussion between Columbus and Los Angeles Kings about goaltender Jonathan Quick? That'd be fucking funny, if you ask me. That would genuinely be hilarious. But Ylonen buries it off a nice pass from Rem Pitlick, just waits out the Shark who's trying to dive for it. Great pass. Ylonen has not played great for the Canadiens, and I still would send him down, but Habs then pushed. Pizzetto with a terrible pass right to the Sharks. That's expected at least once per game. Couple more looks. The Canadiens have taken over at this point. Sharks tried to pressure off a turnover. Habs with a good back check. Allen needs to be sharp. He makes his 36th save of the game. Not like criticizing on, but like just Allen needs to be sharp. Just pointing out like he needs to be sharp at this point. 36th save of the game. Imagine acquiring someone then trading him. I mean, to be fair, if Jonathan Quick is not wanting to report to Columbus, if he's like pissed about going to Columbus, then you probably should trade him. Like, it's not necessarily a thing of, okay, yeah, we got Jonathan Quick now, let's trade him. It's more of Jonathan Quick doesn't want to be with us, so he's on the market. It's more of a thing like that. So it's not like, hey, we just got Jonathan Quick, let's put him out there and see who's interested. Like I said, it's more of Quick doesn't want to be with us, so who wants him? It's something like that. It's just like, hey, we'll take a third for him. We'll take a third. Any buyers? Something like that. Like, hell, if they're fucking trading Quick for like a third, I would do. Just for the chaos. Just for the chaos. Montreal should trade a 3rd round pick for Jonathan Quick. If that's all Columbus needs, it's probably all they're going to get because it's known he does not want to be there. I said nothing. Let's go, NZA. Hell yeah. Let's go. I said nothing. Well, no, NZA. No, it's fine. You could have kept the message. It's still a good discussion point. Because, like, who knows? Maybe Quick is like, you know what? Yeah, I'll play. And who knows? Maybe Jonathan Quick, while he was pissed, is more pissed at LA and's like, you know what? Yeah, I'd report to Columbus. And they're still like, you know what? Yeah, no, we can get an asset for him. Who knows? Who knows if that's the case? Who knows if it's not Quick is called to Columbus and told them, I will not report to you. Fuck off. Who knows what situation it is? Nobody does. So, yeah. But, if Columbus, if it is the latter where Quick does not want to report to Columbus, if Montreal can call and be like, hey, look, yeah, no, we'll give you the starter's job with Montembeault. You guys will split games. We'll trade off Jake Allen. We'll use Jonathan Quick, see how he is. Or, for example, maybe a 3-goalie tandem, for example. Don't know how that would work, but, for example, something like that. I think the chaos would be nice. Granted, Jonathan Quick would probably want to be on a playoff team. So, what would the craziness be if New Jersey suddenly called about Jonathan Quick? What would the ensuing chaos be? What would the chaos be if Buffalo called about John the Quick. I remember the fucking tandem of Anderson, Quick, and Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. Yeah, maybe Carter told him about his time in Columbus. He was like, yeah, I played like 30 games there. I'm playing shit in Pittsburgh, but Columbus was my worst hockey in my career. I hated being there. Like, genuinely, people say to relocate Florida and Arizona and all this shit. Relocate fucking Columbus. Seriously, they might have a couple devoted fans. There is nothing of value to gain out of being in Columbus. Literally nothing of value is there in Columbus. Genuinely, like, relocate them to Houston. Relocate them to fucking Saskatoon for all we care. Saskatoon would support a team better than Columbus. Granted, yes, it's from Canada, and I feel like all Canadians are predispositioned to support hockey no matter what. But still, relocate them to Houston. Send them as well to Arizona. Put 2 teams in Arizona. That'll work better than a team in Columbus. At least I think it would. You'd probably have to send them to Quebec, actually, because they're in the East. And then you have to move somebody from the... Actually, no. Maybe keeping them in Columbus might be the better option to prevent absolute fucking madness in the National Hockey League. But yeah. Both teams pushed. Sharks iced the puck. Kakinen immediately covers. Oh, sorry. Canadiens send the puck up. It bobbles on Pezzetta. That is actually not on him. Just bobbled on him. Would have liked to see him get that. Maybe it would have caused a 2-on-2. Sharks ice the puck. Kakinen immediately covers off the next faceoff. Sharks get a line change. Surprised you don't see that more often. Just send the puck back to the goalie, cover, get a line change. If Columbus relocates... Oh, is Nasher a Columbus fan? Oh, God, I feel bad for that guy. Wonder what team Nasher will support. He'd probably just keep supporting Columbus just under wherever they relocate to. As long as it's not like a contraction, for example, where they contract to another team, and then there's a new 32nd team in the National Hockey League. At that point, I wouldn't have no clue, but I'd assume he just keeps supporting wherever Columbus relocates to. Either that, he'll just completely stop watching hockey, but I'd assume it'd be the latter, where he just supports wherever Columbus moves to. But yeah, both teams had some back and forth. Great chances at both ends of the ice. Sup, man? Keep up the good work. You're well spoken. Canadian Bong Ripper. Firstly, love the name. Thank you, sir. But thank you very much for the comment. I appreciate it a lot. I try my best to be well spoken. I had just had a voice crack. We're gonna roll right past that and ignore that. But thank you. Like I said, I do appreciate the comment. I try my best to speak as well as I can. I try my best not to stutter. I try my best not to do anything like that. But thank you. I appreciate that a lot. I was also about to point out wrong "your," but then I looked at it and I realized, wait, no, that's the right "your" because you are well spoken. It's not like possessive, like you are spoken. Like, no, you're spoken. No, you get what I mean. You are well spoken. It is the right "your." I was gonna correct you, but then I realized that it was not the right one to do. It was not the right thing to do because it was the right "your." Or maybe it would be time to finally support a real team. Probably NZA. And I agree. Legendary team, absolutely. Legendary team, legendary name. Sorry. Legendary name for sure. Absolutely. There's some both chances at the end of the ice. Like I said, both teams going back and forth. Sharks can't get many shots, surprisingly. The Habs, not many. Neither team, actually. Neither team actually able to get chances, but they are not. Sharks then pull the goal out, 2:10 left in the game. Kind of surprised by that. 6-on-5. They pushed Harvey Pinard on the empty net. A great stop by Logan Couture there. Just kind of tries to sit. Almost risks taking the puck in the face. He's able to block the shot, though. That was incredible with the literal wide open net. Matheson, and this is where we have to stop for a second to recap this because I'm going to show footage. I'm going to show footage of a National Hockey League game. And NHL, this is fair use. This is absolutely fair use because what I'm talking about... sorry, boys. I'm just trying to clear my notifications real quick so the video actually loads faster. I'm just trying to do that real quick. All right, there we go. Who added me to a group? What the fuck? But yeah, sorry. I'm trying to... Okay, there it is. So... Sorry, boys. I don't know how to do this. Okay, can I do it like this? There you go. Okay, there we go. Okay, fuck. Pause. There we go. All right, sorry, boys. So I'm going to stop the stream for a second. Can you guys see? Yes, okay. Oh, yeah. That's, like, really clear. You guys can see that very clearly. Okay, so sorry. I'm going to come here. I'm actually going to close the notes quickly for a second. So, for example, Mike Matheson gets taken down. There's no penalty on the play. There is no penalty on this play right here. So I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna let it roll a couple times. There was no penalty on that play. There was no penalty on that play there. Now, boys, I tweeted this out. This is from my Twitter account, actually. This is from my Twitter account at Bobby Margarita. I said, quote, absolutely disgusting play by Yzerman. Clear about this or just when repeat offenders are involved. This is the type of shit we need to get out of the game. I appreciate that we have 1.6 thousand views on that video. Yeah, absolutely just insane. Hey, Warkness, how's it going, my guy? Thank you for coming by. Yeah, the fact that there is no penalty on that play. Do I have audio? No, I don't. Weirdly enough, I uploaded this with audio. And there's like no audio. That's fucking weird. Yeah, I uploaded this with audio. I'm doing solid. How's you? I'm doing great, Darkness. Thank you. But there is no penalty. Again, I'm gonna play this for you guys for another second. There was zero penalty on this, and there's likely zero discipline from the National Hockey League on this play. Clearly comes in, gets the stick up right into the head of Mike Matheson. He doesn't change his position. He doesn't lower himself to meet a stick that's down. Yzerman comes up and clearly just barrels through, stick to the skull. Matheson is down. As far as I know, there's been no injury update if he's been injured legitimately or not. But that is something that should be a penalty. That is clear intent to injure. That is a game misconduct. I guarantee if the situations were swapped, if Matheson did that to Yzerman, immediately that is a 5-minute major and a game misconduct. I'm all but guaranteeing that is easily a game misconduct right there if a Canadian gives that. If most other teams give that, I'm not saying it's a pro San Jose thing or anything, but because it's against Montreal, there is no penalty on the play. Now, we have tried to get people looking at this play and try to get some type of discussion surrounding it. So, guys, if you guys could, and I'm gonna actually put the tweet in the chat. If you guys could look at this tweet profile, I'm trying to get it if I can. If it would want to work, there we go. If you guys could go and like this or retweet this tweet, if I can, there we go. If you guys could go like this tweet, if you guys could go like that, retweet it, comment on it, something, try and get attention on that. And not because it's something that I put out, because the play needs to be penalized. There needs to be some type of discipline on that. There needs to be some type of discipline on that play. If you guys could go like it, retweet it, comment, do something, help get more attention on that play, that would be appreciated, guys. I would love that. That would absolutely, that would genuinely be appreciated. That'd actually be appreciative. If you guys could do something, that would be appreciated. Matheson got cheap shotted. I didn't see that. Yeah, conservative lawyer. Yeah, I was like one of the few people. I was literally the only two people. I was one of only two people to spot that I noticed on Twitter. The other was a guy I retweeted. I commented on his thing. We were like the only people to notice that. And that is absolutely disgusting that there was no penalty on the play. There's probably not going to be any discipline from the NHL. Genuinely, it sucks that this type of shit can go undisciplined like this. Clear intent to injure. Again, Matheson shoots the puck out. He doesn't lower himself. He doesn't rise. Just staying, all right, pass the puck out, and Yzerman comes in, lifts the stick up clearly into the head. Fucking lucky he's wearing a goddamn helmet. Right into the skull, and that's it. Just nothing. No penalty. He's allowed to just keep going, and nobody steps up on the Canadiens. To be fair, everybody's up in the play. Nobody sees it. The only one that sees that is probably Jake Allen. The only one that sees that is Jake Allen. Looking at the play again. Genuinely, that sucks. That is genuinely. Thank you, NZA, for liking the tweet. Thank you, NCA. I was about to shout out the other people that liked it, but I probably shouldn't because I don't think they're watchers of the stream. And so they really probably wouldn't care. Hey, let's go. Not Mark Bergevin. Let's go. Not Mark Bergevin. I actually like the tweet. Let's go. The hit by Yzerman should have been 5 in a game. Clear cross check to the head, most importantly. Exactly, Darkness as well. It's a blind side as well. It's not like they're facing each other and he just gets to stick up. No, that is a cheap shot to the back of the skull. Even though he's wearing a helmet, that is still dangerous. That is still a dangerous cheap shot. And if a Montreal Canadien were delivering this, if the roles were reversed, I'd be pissed at Matheson. I'd be pissed at whoever gave this. I'd be pissed at 99% of the time. I'm pissed at this type of situation. All right? And I don't say 100% because there's a roughly 1% chance this happens on a guy like Tom Wilson, and I'm happy about that. There's a chance it happens on Evander Kane, and I'm happy about it. Vast majority of the players in the NHL do not deserve this. There's a handful, at most, that would not get sympathy from me. That was very dirty. Exactly. No way for him to defend himself. And like, there's people saying, oh, he changes his positioning. The only thing that changes is his shoulder. The only thing that changes is Matheson's shoulder when he shoots the puck out. That's the only thing that changes. His head does not move at all. It's very just shoot the puck out. His head stays in the same position. His head stays in the same exact position. No penalty on the play. And I want to point out, this happens when the Sharks are down 2-1. Never mind that is a dirty, cheap shot, and there's no way for Matheson to defend himself, and that's a blind side. That's a clear intent to injure. But it's just stupid in general. You're down 2-1, and you're trying to tie the game up. If that gets called, that costs the Sharks the game right there. Granted that we would score the empty netter 20 seconds later, but still, if that gets called, you're out of the game. That is a dumbass hit to deliver, regardless on if it's a cheap shot or not. It's just stupid. And from someone that's in the NHL, like Yzerman is, someone who is 26 years old, has played in their 40 NHL games, played for at least a decade, going as far back as NHL in 12-13. I would assume someone like that would know not to deliver a headshot like that, not to cheap shot somebody like that. And as far as I can tell, from what I've seen with Michael Yzerman's career, he's not done something like this before. As far as I can tell, he's not done anything like this. He has never cheap shot anyone like this. Now I'm saying, now here's the thing: if that is noticed and the NHLPA reviews that, or the NHL players say, he probably gets 1 game for that. He probably gets at most 2 games for that. More than likely, it's a $5,000 suspension because of the Department of Player Safety. Shit like this, like I said, like I put in the tweet, this is the type of shit we need to get out of the game of hockey. Now, this, realistically, that's Raffi Torres level of bad. That is near Raffi Torres level of absolute garbage play, garbage headshot, garbage intent to injure. That is just pure Raffi Torres right there. Raffi Torres got half of a season. He got, I want to say, 20 game suspension. Let me look up Raffi Torres suspension history. Suspension history. I hope they have this. They might. Okay. He was suspended 5 times for illegal hits to opponent's head. All right. He received a 41 game suspension for an illegal hit on Jakob Silfverberg. It's insane. Torres suspended 5 times for illegal hits, and they're still happening. They are still happening. Michael Yzerman. There was one I saw last year. I forget who. Tom Wilson is still running around the goddamn NHL. There are guys that are still delivering illegal checks to the head and illegal cross checks, illegal elbows to the head. This shit is still in the game. He received a 21 game suspension. Raffi Torres did. He received a 25 hit. Or sorry, no, it was reduced to 21 games. Sorry. Genuinely, just Raffi Torres gets 41 games and 21 games, and they clearly made an example out of him to not deliver these types of hits, for nobody to deliver these types of hits, and they're still going on. I guarantee you punish Yzerman, you give him, say, 10, 15 games, or you give the next incident that happens like this 15 to 20 games, guys are going to keep their sticks down. Guys are not going to deliver headshots. They don't want to cost their team not only this game, but potentially be out long term. Raffi Torres, after that 41-game suspension, never played another NHL game. When he was suspended 41 games, he never played an NHL game. He was not signed the following free agency because people did not want to take that risk with Raffi Torres. You make an example out of someone like this, you suspend them 10, 15, 20 games, there's going to be way less headshots in the game of hockey. There's going to be, at least in the NHL, there's going to be way less headshots. All right, guys are going to be less willing to deliver an elbow to the skull because, oh, okay, if at most is going to be a game or two, maybe 3-4 because I'm a repeat offender. No, you have to step in there, George Parros and whoever else is a part of the NHL Department of Player Safety. Because people forget, they blame George Parros. He's just their representative. He gets to say, I believe, a part say, but it's like 5 or 6 people, as far as I can remember. 5 or 6 people that make up the Department of Player Safety that determine these choices. Parros is just the scapegoat for these guys to not get criticism. He's the guy who's put out there to be their representative, to speak upon their part, to deliver why suspension was given or why suspension was not given. You make an example out of 1 or 2 players. The next 2 incidents that happen like this, you punish those guys 15, 20 games, for example. 15, 20 games each. Everybody's going to keep their sticks down. Nobody's going to elbow to the skull. People are probably going to be a little bit hesitant to hit overall, which is better for the game of hockey. The less players that are getting injured. Cale Makar just had a second fucking concussion of the year. Sidney Crosby, how many concussions has he had? Eric Lindros, how many concussions has he had? All right, dude almost fucking died in a bathtub one time, I believe, because of his goddamn concussion symptoms, something like that. I want to say, you know, guys have been getting hurt in the game of hockey forever, and you're never going to take hitting fully out of the game of hockey. Obviously, hitting is a natural part of hockey, but we do need to take out the headshots. The helmets are definitely helping. If we went to full-on college helmets, that'd be even better, I will argue. But the NHL probably won't ever go to the full-on cage masks. They'll probably never go on to those, except for the goaltenders. But we do need to get headshots out. We need to get headshots out. We need to get elbows out, elbowing out of the game of hockey. You make an example out of players, and the league will respond. The players will respond by not doing this shit as much. They will not. I guarantee you, the very few players who are still doing this will continue to do it, but a vast majority of players who might look at a guy in a compromising position like Mike Matheson was and think, hey, I can get away with this. Go for it. We need to win, or we need to tie this game up. They're not going to do it. They're maybe going to give him a slight shoulder jab or whatever. And yeah, obviously there's still risk of getting hurt every hit you deliver. But the dirty hits like that need to come out of the game. If you get injured on a regular hit, okay, you know what, that sucks, but it was a clean hit, whatever. Man, that sucks. If Matheson had the puck, he was coming in face to face with Yzerman, and he nailed him, and he gets hurt because of that, that sucks, sure. But as long as there's no shoulder to the head, there's no elbow to the head, there's no cross check to the face, it's just a clean shoulder to the chest hit or a shoulder to shoulder hit, and Matheson gets hurt, that sucks. But it's a clean hit. It's a clean hit. This type of shit gives hockey a bad image. And I understand there's probably going to be some people out there, and I might clip this and put this out there as talking about the Mike Matheson. I genuinely do that this time because it should be heard. People should know that this hit has been given and is not getting disciplined. And like I said, there's going to be people out there saying, "Oh, well, if you think it gives the name, if you think it gives the sport of hockey a bad name, why are you talking about it? Why are you bringing it up?" Because to take this shit out. You make a big enough fuss, and the NHL responds. The NHLPA responds by making a statement out of players, by making a statement out of a player and be, hey, 20-game suspension. Holy shit. Again, players are going to react to that. They're not going to give that many hits, that many dirty hits like that. Focus more on the skill and the speed of the game. People are going to look at that and be like, oh, damn, did you see that highlight last night? Did you see that Connor McDavid highlight? I might not like Connor McDavid and think he's only a top 5 player in the National Hockey League. But he can bring in ratings. He has the skill to drive people to want to watch hockey to see what Connor McDavid can do. Cole Caulfield, I think, can have that effect. Cale Makar has that effect. There are a good handful of players. Sidney Crosby has that effect. Alex Ovechkin has that effect. Ovechkin chasing Gretzky's goal record, something we thought would never be broken, and he's chasing that down. The NHL can get people watching their games by vastly promoting Remember Wayne Gretzky, how he has the all-time goal record? Yeah, that's about to be broken. You have a chance to witness history. Any given day could bring history. We have the most exciting, fascinating hockey. And part of that would be we discipline players based off cheap shots. We deliver big discipline upon headshots. We deliver discipline with dirty hits. There's people that watch the NBA and the NFL and not really the MLB. There's not really that much dirty in the MLB, but stuff like that. They watch games like this where it's like, that should be a suspension. This should be this. This should be this. The NHL, I will argue, and I believe Gary Bettman has said this, and I will agree with him. The NHL does have them incredibly tough to keep track of if you're an official trying to watch 10 players all at the same time when you're not watching on TV, when you're right there and right ice level with these guys. Keeping track of every single one of them can be tough. Absolutely can be. You're going to miss stuff. But the NHL officiating still has been the most consistent. There's times where they're garbage, yes. Every league has moments where their officiating is terrible. But hockey is a fast sport. It's tough to keep up with the players. But this is a situation where the official is probably standing in the corner, watching the play ensuing, noticing from the corner of his eye, Matheson gets taken down, should be a penalty. But again, the NHL can get ratings. They can improve their wallets, which is the main thing that they probably want to do, by disciplining these players. Because people are going to look, oh, wow, 20-game suspension. The NHL really does crack down on dirty hits. They really crack down on stuff like this happening. That's cool. Maybe I'll watch an NHL game, maybe I'll watch because they actually discipline their players. Maybe there's some really good skill in there. You're going to get people to watch the NHL by, again, marketing, Crosby, Ovechkin, Caulfield, Matthews, Makar, guys like this, McDavid, Draisaitl. You're going to get guys like this. Elias Sorokin, marketing, goaltenders. Look at some of the greatest saves that these goalies have made in the last 3 years. This is what you get when you watch the NHL. Stuff like that. You can get that by marketing that you discipline dirty hits and headshots and all this while actually doing it. Marketing the superstars of the game. The NHL wants money. This is how they're going to do it. By taking out headshots, marketing towards that. Hey, NBA, NFL, they don't suspend for stuff like this going on. The NHL does. The NHL will suspend for the dirty hits. The NHL allows skilled players out there. The NHL does not whimper to anybody, basically. You can market. You can have such a good marketing strategy here for the NHL while also keeping the players safe. It's a win-win. The players feel safer on the ice. You're disciplining headshots, which is something the fans want. Disciplining dirty, cheap shots. You're making money, and the players feel safe. The fans get the discipline that they want on players. It's a win-win-win. With the NHL, the playout with Matheson, Eismont should be suspended. The NHL should be making an example out of him, or just the next situation that happens like this, because getting headshots and cheap shots and dirty hits out of the game would be nice. It'd be great to see that happening. But I don't know if it's going to, unfortunately. I don't think the NHL is genuinely going to be open to taking out cheap shots. I think they want to, but I don't think they really know how to go about it. Again, when Brendan Shanahan and Brian Burke might have been the best time for the NHL Department of Player Safety. Shanahan, like I said, he was not fucking around with Rafi Torres. 21-game suspension, 41-game suspension. He suspended 5 times. I'm pretty sure he missed. I've seen something out there. I think he missed like a total of 2 seasons. Not 2 seasons, but he missed a season and a half because of the suspension that he was serving. Tom Wilson was suspended 20 games for his hit on Oscar Sundqvist. That's making an example out of somebody. And he still did the shit with Panarin. He still has done multiple incidents that then go unpunished or $5,000 fines. Ryan Reeves has had a couple incidents like that as well. If you suspend these players, and I understand guys like Tom Wilson, Reeves, for example, Josh Anderson, Nick Delorier, these guys, well, they're not necessarily dirty, all of them. They're physical players. I understand you cannot discipline them exclusively because of their physicality. They get rough in the play. They're there to be either enforcers in the case of Delorier and Reeves, or grinders or power forwards like Tom Wilson and Josh Anderson, guys like this. But you need to take an exception. You need to take exception when the line is crossed. The officials need to step in to prevent some games from going too far. There was an Islanders game last week. I forget if it was with the Wild. Let me actually look up the New York Islanders because I might be able to tell. I might be able to tell which game it is. I think it was the game against the Penguins. The game against the Penguins, the one from February 20th. That one got so out of hand that it was almost another fight night from 2011. Which fight night, that's different. It wasn't a ton of dirty, cheap shots getting delivered. It was just a bunch of fighting. There were like 13 fights in that game, something crazy like that. But there were a bunch of cheap shots and not fights, but just cheap shots, cheap punches, sucker punches going on that could also be suspended, at least fined. You want to take this stuff out of the game, you got to start with cracking down on teams like the Islanders and teams like, for example, Washington and two Metro teams. Teams like Detroit, for example, that have some of these players that will openly do this. You got to crack down on this. And the NHL, I don't get what they don't get because again, they can market this. They can market that they suspend for cheap shots and headshots, and they don't allow sucker punches in the NHL like the NFL does, like the MLB does. They do not allow this stuff to happen. The NHL does not allow this stuff to happen, while other leagues might. But it also could be good because they market this, and then the other leagues respond, and then you're making every league very safe and safe for the players. Like guys are gonna want to not get as involved as they might. The NHL seriously has something here, and I don't get why they haven't done it. Like, I get they want to market trade deadline and Sidney Crosby, Ovechkin, but they're not doing what they could to market superstars, and they're not doing what they could to suspend for headshots and market that. They have such a good marketing strategy here, and genuinely, I don't get why they're not doing it. NHL, hire a major marketing executive. I'll be your fucking head of department of player safety. I don't care if I've never played an NHL hockey game. Give me the goddamn role because I'm pretty sure I would do a fucking better job than George Peros and the bunch of nitwits that are running it right now. Hugh, how's it going? Thank you for coming by. I'm sorry, I've been on this rant for like 15 minutes about the NHL Department of Player Safety and the marketing strategy because the NHL does not want to suspend for like headshots and stuff like that. And talking about a hit on Mike Matheson, which you can see, I put it in the tweet above. I put that there, and yeah. And yeah, that's what's been going on. I hope you're doing good, Hugh. Also, nice to know that you are David Backus. Nice to know that you are Backus. I'm very happy to know that. Thank you. But yeah, boys. Again, the NHL needs to do something because I don't get how players will keep getting away with cheap shots and headshots and stuff like this. And then Andre Miller spitting on somebody gets a 3-game suspension. I understand that, post-COVID spitting, and I do like that they suspended him. I am happy with that suspension. But if you're going to suspend that, you got to suspend the fucking headshots, which are actually dangerous. And there's going to be one person out there. This is not racism. This is not clear racism for suspending the black man and not the white guy. This is the case of beforehand, Ivan Barbashev, I think it was, got 4 games for intentionally spitting on somebody. Miller gets 3 for unintentionally spitting on somebody, but still spitting on someone. It was still something gross. While he might not have known he spit on somebody, it's still suspendable action. I probably would have gone 2 games because, intentional is 4, unintentional should be half 2, but I get that. You're making an example still. You're making an example out of Andre Miller. Hey, guys, you might not want to spit on somebody. If you're going to spit, make sure there's nobody around because, you're going to be suspended, especially in a post-COVID world. That's disgusting. Somebody, but still, COVID, you might want to watch. But just, again, weird situation. David Backus is in the chat. Jesse Ylonen. Hell yeah, absolutely. But yeah, boys, I think I should stop talking about the Matheson stuff. I might clip this, put it on YouTube later, including the Hugh stuff. Why not? I might clip this, put it on YouTube later today. I don't know. Again, maybe there's a possibility of that. I don't know. yeah, hopefully, yeah, yeah, I don't know. I think that the Department of Player Safety needs a rehaul or something, because there's been way too many incidents in the past, like 15 years, Jesus, 15 months. I was gonna say 15 years, like past like 15 months, probably I'd say 2 years just to be safe. Past 2 years where it's like, yeah, no, this should be a suspension. The fuck? Where it's like, okay, that's probably $5,000 fine, maybe a 1 game, and it's been a 5 game or 10 games, something like that. There's been such inconsistency. How can you spell someone? NZA basically, like from what I understand, Condre Miller was just looking to just like spit or whatever, just like how a player would normally do, just all right, spit, whatever, it's on the ice or whatever. But turns out Drew Doughty was right there, and apparently somehow he didn't see him as peripheral vision that Drew Doughty was there, so he turned and spit, and it got on Drew Doughty. Somehow he didn't see in his peripheral vision that it was Drew Doughty there. Yeah, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. I think he intentionally spit on Doughty, but still, I'm going off his excuse that he didn't see him, just to still make the example that intentionally spitting 4 games, unintentionally 2 games. I still do like the penalty. I still do like the suspension if it genuinely was unintentional. But if you're gonna suspend spitting, maybe you should want to fucking suspend headshots, because those are arguably more dangerous. If Miller has COVID, he's not playing in that game. He's not playing. I'm pretty sure he has the fucking COVID shots anyway. So I will argue the headshot, which can literally end a player's career, is probably more dangerous at this point. Just a hunch, but I think that's the case. All right, let's wrap this game up. I've been live for almost an hour and a half. YouTube, hi YouTube. Again, because technically this is on the live stream. Hi YouTube video audience. I hope you like the rant. I hope the stream crowd liked the rant too. But if you did, like and subscribe and all that good shit. Links, yeah, do that please. All right, let's finish the game. So Matheson's taking down with the headshot. And we score into the empty net. It's Christian Dvorak from Nick Suzuki and Anderson. There's 8 seconds left in the game when that's scored. I didn't see Matheson if he got up and was able to get to the bench because the puck was down the ice. We were going for an empty net. I didn't see that. But yeah, it's 3-1 into the empty net. Habs win 3-1 in regulation. Great comeback victory, down 1-0 to win it 3-1. Final shots are actually 39-32 for the Sharks. So Jake Allen with 38 saves on 39 shots. Absolutely fucking incredible. This is the Jake Allen I want to see, not the inconsistent 4 goals on 11 shots and then 38 saves on 39 shots, Jake Allen. Apparently, we just need to tell Jake Allen that every game is a playoff game, because Jake Allen's been fucking incredible in the playoffs whenever he's played. So, yeah, Habs with a nice 3-1 victory. You always gotta love the Canadiens winning. You always gotta love a time when I can wear the white jersey. Yeah, so that is going to do it for this game. Thankfully, there's now only 6 guys out of the lineup. Actually, no, sorry, because Armia is hurt. I don't know why I don't have Armia in red. I'm just trying to see real quick if there's any guys. Oh, yeah, technically Dadonov is gone, actually. So, yeah, Dadonov, I got to put in purple. Oh, God, that's funny. Yeah, that's so weird. I got to put Dadonov in purple now. All right. So, yeah, Nick Suzuki, we're going to do was obviously get into the final stats for the Canadiens and then do the outro. Nick Suzuki leads the Montreal Canadiens with 20 goals, 27 assists, 47 points. Cole Caulfield has 26 goals, 10 assists, 36 points. He is unfortunately shut down for the rest of the season. Kirby Dach as well has 12 goals, 24 assists, 36 points. He's also hurt. I don't know why they put him in red. But yeah, unfortunately, Dach is also hurt. Apparently, if you have 36 points for the Canadiens, you're getting injured. Christian Dvorak has 10 goals, 17 assists, 27 points. Mike Hoffman has 9 goals, 16 assists, 25 points. ANZ, see you next time as well. Thank you for coming by, my guy. Much appreciated a lot. Josh Anderson has 17 goals, 7 assists, 27 points. Evgeny Dadonov, who is no longer with the team, had 4 goals, 14 assists, 18 points. Jonathan Drouin has 18 assists on the year. Sean Monahan, who is still hurt, has 6 goals, 11 assists, 17 points. Mike Matheson has 4 goals, 12 assists, 16 points. Hopefully he is fine. Jordan Harris and David Savard each have 3 goals, 12 assists, 15 points. Kaiden Guhle has 3 goals, 11 assists, 14 points. Arbor Jacki, who is unfortunately out for the season, 5 goals, 8 assists, 13 points. Raphael Harvey Pinard, 7 goals, 4 assists, 11 points. Yoel Armia with the exact opposite, once again, of 4 goals, 7 assists, 11 points. He has 7 goals, 11 assists for 4 points. Jake Evans, who is also hurt, 2 goals, 9 assists, 11 points. Rastovkovsky, who is also hurt, 4 goals, 6 assists, 10 points. Jonathan Kovacevic, 2 goals, 8 assists, 10 points. Brendan Gallagher, who's unfortunately hurt, and Michael Pezzetta both have 4 goals, 5 assists, 9 points. Justin Barron has 3 goals, 6 assists, 9 points. Jesse Ylonen has 2 goals, 6 assists, 8 points. Rem Pitlick has 4 goals, 3 assists, 7 points. Joel Edmondson and Alex Belzil each have a goal, 5 assists for 6 points. Edmondson, who's technically back in the lineup, technically back, but he's not in the lineup, so I'm not having him as injured. Chris Weidman has 4 assists. Anthony Richard, who's in the AHL with a goal and assist. Chris Tierney has a goal. Jake Allen and Corey Sheneman, who is also in the AHL. Corey Sheneman now. Actually, no. Was he in the lineup? I forget. They both have an assist. Arbor Jacki obviously leads the team in 9 fights. Michael Pezzetta has 5. Kaiden Guhle and Jake Evans each have 2. Kirby Dach, Josh Anderson, Mike Matheson, Brendan Gallagher, Alex Belzil, and Chris Weidman all have 1 fight each this season. So yeah, boyos, that is going to do it for today's stream. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Rice. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Favorite sharing includes, but not limited to, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, probably else. My name is Rice. Subscribe to our Puff Club, subscribe to Hazy Club, Sound of Television, the Nation, and remember the Mod Squad. Thank you for any comments on streams and reviews. It is much greatly appreciated. My name is Rice. Links to description on the Amazon business, the PayPal, the PayPal, the Discord, the Letterboxd, Spinner account, and the Twitch are all down there as well. I gotta thank you guys. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Rice. I always remember to remind our battery like this year. How fairly good we are like this year. Go Habs, go. Thank you guys again so much for watching. My name is Rice again, and I'm out. Love you guys. See you guys. Bye, guys. Love you guys. See you guys. Bye, guys. Bye. Yeah, let's go, boys.